all eyes being on the historic handshake. Remember, it is October 30th, and this marks a very crucial turning point in geopolitics at this point of time. All eyes on the Donald Trump-Xi Jinping meet in Busan, South Korea. Remember, it's the first Trump-Xi meeting that's taking place in the last 6 years. 2019 G20 summit was when they had last met. Chinese President Xi and US President Donald Trump have already arrived in Busan for the meeting. Trump, in fact, arrives in Busan ahead of the meeting with Xi. Trump has come out to say, looking forward to meet President Xi. So these are the latest visuals that we're also bringing to you. Remember, this meeting is also taking place at the sidelines of the APEC summit that's taking place in South Korea. And it is a historic meet. Remember, let's tell you, it's the first direct efforts that we are speaking of that will be resetting relations, and relations that have been constantly seeing spiraling rivalries, be it over technology, be it over tariffs. Technology has been decoupling. There's global instability as well when this very meeting comes to, in fact, take place. So yes, we will bring you all the latest visuals that will be coming in. But the news that we are bringing to you right now is that Trump has arrived in Busan already ahead of the meeting with Xi that's to take place on the sidelines of the APEC. And yes, there is a lot that's on the table that we're speaking of. Again, while we speak of tariff, there is the entire de-escalation that comes into talks, or rather comes into focus at this given point. Also, whether Donald Trump will be bringing Russia to the table of discussion and what shall be their negotiating piece, because there is Russia on this side for the US, there is Taiwan on the other side for the China. So plenty that's expected in terms of agenda setting that's been done for this very meeting. Right now I'm being joined by Bill Drexel, China expert from Hudson Institute, who's joining us from Washington, D.C. Bill, a very good morning to you, and thank you for speaking to us on India Today. We were just broadly outlining the importance of this meeting and what all may be on the table as the agenda for this meeting between Xi and Trump. What is your opening remarks on it?
Well, there's a huge amount riding on this meeting. It's not just trade. I mean, this is a bellwether for the relationship in general. Both sides have kind of been squaring off with their choke points, their pieces of leverage. And, there have been provocations on both sides. We'll see where it lands, but high stakes. The one thing to note, though, is that, both President Trump and Chairman Xi have a tendency to walk away from deals that they don't like. So even if we kind of reach some sort of provisional deal or a stage one deal, it's still a long way to see if whatever's agreed upon will stick.
Absolutely. I think that's been very well outlined by you, Bill, because we have seen past instances of both leaders being dissatisfied and just bringing the meeting to a halt. But, Bill, let's also take a look, as you mentioned, that it's not just trade that's supposed to be a major focus in this very meeting. There's also politics that's going around the world at this given point. There's a lot of instability if we look at it. There is the Russia war that's going on. There is, of course, tariff that we have and that we will speak about in particular focus. But we also have Taiwan as a negotiating point for China, and how this meeting will also be affecting India, which we'll again look at later. But given the geopolitical instability across the world right now, what would you say shall remain to be the top focus for Xi and Trump?
Well, trade's always going to be top. We're going to have to see, both leaders will be squaring away what are their kind of asks and what do they want to focus on top of that. You could imagine that Chairman Xi is very invested in trying to see if something might be able to shift on Taiwan. You could imagine that President Trump is curious about a number of things. He mentioned already that getting Jimmy Lai, the prisoner of conscience from Hong Kong, out is on his list. There was a major provocation from China in that they did a major sweeping operation across China to arrest the church leadership of one of China's largest churches, whose head pastor has 3 American children just 2.5 weeks ago, and that's been making waves. One of those children is incidentally my wife. So this gets personal for many people, but there are major stakes, and both will be seeking wins in addition to the trade dimension specifically.